All right, welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because, well, today we are unpacking something that is literally changing how we operate, not just as individuals, but as entire communities. We're talking about artificial intelligence. But look, we're stripping away the jargon and all that hype. We're going to break down how AI transforms from just a simple everyday productivity tool on your phone into this massive engine for grassroots community empowerment. It's a pretty fascinating journey, so let's get right to it. So here's our roadmap. We're going to start with AI in everyday life, figure out how to get started safely, and then learn how to craft the perfect prompt. From there, we'll zoom out to empowering the community, break down something called the LSD teaching method, and finally, look at some real-world impact. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, AI in everyday life, your personal digital assistant. This is where the immediate, practical magic really happens. I want you to imagine, just for a second, a tool that just removes all the friction from your daily chores. Think about it. What if you didn't have to stare blankly into the fridge at 6 p.m. wondering what on earth to cook? What if something could look at your dietary needs, your budget, and the time you actually have available and instantly plan out your meals and workouts? Well, that's not science fiction. That is exactly what personal AI tools are designed to do right now. When we look at the source materials, they highlight 5 super common personal use cases that are really driving this early adoption. First up, learning and skills, like creating a study plan or, practicing a new language. Second is planning and organization. Think to-do lists or wrangling crazy schedules. Third is creative projects, where you can brainstorm ideas or write out drafts. Fourth, problem solving, getting advice on decisions or troubleshooting a tech issue. And finally, health and wellness, like we just talked about with meal planning. The big takeaway here, foundational AI utility is for absolutely everyone. You need zero technical background to get massive value out of this. Now, jumping into a new piece of tech can still feel kind of intimidating, right? Which brings us to section 2, getting started safely with 4 pillars to success. According to our sources, there's a really clear 4-step framework for easing into these tools. Step 1, choose a free tool. Seriously, don't juggle a bunch of platforms. Just anchor onto one free version, like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude. Step 2, start simple. Get a feel for it by seeing how the AI handles concepts you already know. Step 3, be specific. Give it some constraints. And step 4, honestly, this is the most critical part. Ask follow-up questions. You got to treat this interaction like an ongoing back-and-forth dialogue with an assistant, not just a one-and-done web search. And this brilliantly illustrates the stark contrast between responsible AI use and some pretty dangerous habits. On the do side of things, always double-check important info, use it as a brainstorming buddy, and fiercely protect your privacy. But on the don't side, never, ever rely on it for official medical, legal, or financial advice. No way. Never share passwords or sensitive personal details. And maybe most importantly, don't assume the output is always 100% correct. You are still the pilot here, the AI is just your co-pilot. All right, let's get into the mechanics of this. Section 3, the perfect prompt, where context is everything. Because at the end of the day, the output you get is only ever going to be as good as the input you give it. So if you just type in a vague prompt like, plan a birthday party, well, you're going to be disappointed. It's just going to spit out a generic cookie-cutter list that probably tells you to buy balloons and bake a cake. It completely lacks the parameters needed to be genuinely useful. But look at the difference when we actually add some specifics. Our source material highlights this prompt: plan a 10-year-old's birthday party for 15 kids at my house with a $150 budget. The birthday child loves dinosaurs and half the kids have food allergies. Boom. Now the system actually has constraints. It has granular details, it knows your budget, and those crucial safety requirements. Giving it this level of specific context is absolutely the key that unlocks its true power to generate a custom, highly actionable plan. I absolutely love this next example from the source guide. Help me create a realistic morning routine for someone who hits snooze 3 times and needs to leave the house by 8 a.m. with a packed lunch. I mean, this is just brilliant because it proves AI can handle highly personalized, wonderfully imperfect human habits. You don't have to pretend to be some hyper-efficient robot to use a robot, right? Just tell it you hit snooze 3 times and it'll compute a schedule that actually accommodates your real life. Let's move to, and see how this builds into section 4. Empowering the community, specifically looking at the Detroit initiative. Take this AI literacy train the trainer program, for instance. This project is proof that AI knowledge isn't just some luxury for corporate productivity. It's actively being used to bridge the digital divide right inside underserved neighborhoods. The goal wasn't just to drop in, teach one class, and leave. It was to train local community leaders who could then turn around and teach their own neighbors, creating this massive, sustainable ripple effect of digital equity. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the hyper-specific application of the knowledge. We have a facilitator leading a microcourse called Entrepreneurship After Incarceration. They're literally using AI to help returning citizens build real, actionable business plans. We're seeing everyday people applying foundational digital skills to push past massive systemic barriers. It's so much more than just a tool for efficiency. It's being used as a lever for economic re-entry and personal reinvention. To really grasp the engine driving these community classes, we need to check out Section 5, the LSD teaching method, a repeatable framework. So the program used what they call the LSD framework. And no, definitely not that LSD. It actually stands for Learn It, See It, Do It. It's a super efficient microlearning methodology. Learn It means you introduce the concept clearly. See It means you demonstrate it with a live example. And Do It means getting the learners to actually do hands-on practice right then and there. It's just a really simple, robust acronym that empowered regular community members to quickly become confident AI educators themselves, working in these short 10 to 20-minute bursts. You can really see how this LSD framework was adapted to highly specific local needs. Take this microcourse, designed entirely around urban farming and sustainability. You've got modules on using AI for urban gardening, composting, designing community spaces, and right in that do it phase, they're using prompts like plan a community garden that feeds 10 families. This isn't just abstract tech theory. This is hyper-local, community-driven problem solving baked right into the teaching framework. But the big question, did it actually work? Let's move on to Section 6, Real-World Impact and Evaluating Success. Well, the evaluation survey data from the participants is honestly incredible. The results show that half strongly agreed and the other half agreed that they understand what AI tools can and cannot do. That means literally 100% of the participants in this Train the Trainer program walked away with a crystal clear grasp of both the capabilities and the limitations of AI. They basically successfully demystified this tech right at the grassroots level. So the crucial point is digital safety. And again, look at this, a perfect 100% success rate, split right down the middle between agreeing and strongly agreeing, that participants know how to use AI safely and responsibly. It just goes to show, when you give people the right framework, they don't just learn how to click buttons on a new tool, they actually learn how to protect themselves and their entire community while using it. Think about it. We've gone from organizing a simple morning routine to designing community gardens and empowering returning citizens. AI really is just a mirror that amplifies our intent. So the question I want to leave you with today is this. Now that you know how to safely structure a prompt and, more importantly, how to teach these skills to others, how are you going to use these tools to uplift your own neighborhood? Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I seriously can't wait to see what you build.